welcome to a full beginner's workout Pilates with Jerry. So today, as always, we're going to start with ABC, alignment, breathing and core control. I want you to remember that your neck is an extension of your spine. So you'll often hear me remind you of this during the exercise to make sure you're in neutral spine when performing your exercises. So alignment firstly, so we want to stand with our arms by our side and come out into Pilates stance. Feet need to be hip distance apart. Take your feet out to 45 degrees, come up on the balls of your feet, swivel your heels out. You should now be in line, ears, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles. Lovely. Take your shoulders up, rotate them back and down. Feel your scapula slide over your ribcage as you bring them down. And we're going to go through the alignment now and work through to breathing and core centering and control. So we're going to start by challenging your balance. So transfer the weight to the front of your body, feel your toes gripping the mat and coming back through centre. Just do this a couple of times to allow you to be mentally aware of your muscle control and bringing your weight back and forth. And back through centre now. I want you to imagine a 3-point triangle from your big toe joint to your little toe joint to your heel. So having transferred the weight, you will already realise how as we lean forward, the toes take over and then the heels come into play as you take it back. We're going to lift the toes up and stretch them, lengthen them nice and long, lower them towards the mat and claw back as if clawing tissue paper towards you. This is warming up your peripheral circulation and your peripheral nerve endings. There are 26 bones in each foot, 30 joints and over 100 muscles. It's very important to start that warm up, and also all the ends of your circulation system and your nervous system are in your toes. So come back to centre now and invert your soles towards each other as you roll onto the outsides of your feet, and then coming back the other way, invert your soles away from you. This is bringing in the ankles, which is important for stabilisation of the ankle and helps with your balance. So we're going to put a soft bend in the knees now and just roll the weight around your feet, so through the heel, the outside of your left foot. Come back to the other side and your right foot. And then change direction. And we're just lifting up the feet and patting them down just to wake up your circulation a bit more. As you pull up through your shins, pull up through your thighs. So these are your quadriceps here. We're going to lengthen one of each quadricep and one of each hamstring. Cross the hips and the knees. So for knee health, it's important, as I've told you before, to lengthen out, really lifting up. So you're coming up to your pelvic floor now. We have 4 curves in our spine: cervical, thoracic, lumbar and sacral. We're going to tilt the pelvis back and forth, staying in that neutral posture. If you imagine that your pelvis is like a bowl of water and you've got a ping pong ball floating on the top, you don't want to lose any water out of the front or the back. And eventually you should start to feel more grounded when you find your neutral spine. So this is where your lumbar spine is at its happiest. It's the most mobile part of the spine. So coming on from there, once you're stood in neutral, you should start to feel nice and grounded. You've got the sling at the bottom of your pelvis. So if you imagine an elevator, you start by squeezing your bladder muscles, drawing up and in, coming up to your navel, really pull your navel to spine, drawing in nice and deeply. Squeezing it in there is starting to contract your transverse abdominis, your deep corset muscle, which is the deepest of the core muscle. Start with our pelvic floor. We're going to squeeze up and in. So start squeezing your bladder muscles, draw your navel to spine. Bring it up and in, and you're tightening your tummy by doing this. So we're working on the muscles from the inside. So it's not like we're lifting a weight. We're actually working from deep inside where we can't see. We're going to lower that down again. And then squeeze it up and in. Holding and releasing. So if you imagine your pelvic floor like an elevator, the cords are drawing everything up, stepping up and in towards your navel to spine. We're going to take a 10-notch leather belt now. So I'd like you to draw your muscles up and in, and then keep drawing. Really tighten your navel to spine. Pull that imaginary belt as tight as you possibly can, and then release to about 30%. So do where you're sucking your tummy in, but you're grounded and you're comfortable. You can still breathe normally. So feel around your ribs now with your index fingers or your middle fingers. Come through centre to your sternum or your breastbone. So if you feel this butterfly wing area heal, come up through the centre to your breastbone. We inhale in Pilates thoracically, and laterally we go wide and full. So we inhale through the nose. As we do, we're expanding the ribs, stretching the intercostal muscles between the ribs, and then as we exhale, blowing out through the mouth, you'll feel your lower ribs, your floating ribs, kind of want to tuck in and that's also helping your core muscles. So we do that one more time. We inhale, so we're increasing the volume of our lungs, and we're exhaling, keeping that pelvic floor lifted all the time, keeping your core locked on. Ease your shoulders up towards your ears, take them back, opening the chest and draw them back and down. So this is your core control is done now, you're breathing, you've locked on, and we're just coming into our warm-up now. So I want you to place your elbows by your waistline, draw them back slightly to get into the shoulder blades to release. We're going to ease the shoulders up towards the ears, open the chest, push down through your elbows, really lowering towards the ground, so pushing something away from you, and then release. Coming into our warm-up now. So this is the second part, the middle part of our Pilates class. So we start by raising your arms through steam. So nice and slowly, keeping everything in line. So thinking about the posture, ears, shoulders, hips, knees and ankles all of the time. And then we're going to come up, open the chest, take your little fingers behind you, palms facing your bottom, see if your little fingers can reach. And if possible, you can cross your palms. This will come with practice. You may not get your little fingers together to begin with, but it all comes with practice. So we're lifting up again, invert your thumbs towards the floor, and then we're crossing the palms. This time you have slightly more reach when your palms are facing away from you. You take your shoulders up, back and down, release. You're going to come into our first balance now. So the key with balance is to focus on what's put in front of you or on the floor. So we inhale and we exhale. So we bring the arms up and we take them up around the ear, keeping those shoulder blades back and down. Take it out and around. I want you to do this in your own time, keeping your core locked on, creating a nice flow with your breath. Just warming up the shoulder girdle here now as well, as we have something called synovial fluid in the joints, which gets sticky as we get older, and therefore needs to be warmed up to become more viscous, to increase the mobility and flexibility in the joints. Take your arms up to the side now in T position. Check your fingers are in line with your shoulders. And we're grasping hold of our imaginary tap heads and rotating. So this is a kind of a nerve glide. So we're lengthening the nerve endings right through. You'll feel a strange tingling sensation right up into the back of your neck as we lengthen out. So also bringing in your brachioradialis and your radioulnar joint, rotating your elbow, which is encouraging your arms to rotate at the end. Okay, shake out, well done. Moving on from there now, we're going to come into a lateral flexion. So take your right foot behind your left, put your left hand on your hip, take your arm out to the side for me. Again, check it's in line. Your thumb to the ceiling, we keep the arm straight to work on the muscles that we want to stretch. And we're looking at the side area here, which runs round the back, your quadratus lumborum. It's your carrying muscle, so very important to lengthen this out. We inhale and we exhale. We take the arm to the ceiling at 45 degrees, really lengthening out and holding there. Feel that stretch in your back and those side muscles here as you create more distance between your rib cage and your pelvis. Inhale, exhale, soft bend in the knees, see if you can reach even further. And release. We'll do that again on the other side. Left foot behind your right, left arm out, right hand on your hip. Inhale and exhale, stretching up. Inhale, exhale, reach. See how I'm pushing towards the ceiling with my fingertips, lengthening out my side body. And release. Okay, so we warmed up the top area now. We often get blood pooling when we activate more the top over the bottom or vice versa. So we're going to do some venous return now to assist your circulation. So standing nice and tall in your neutral posture, you're going to bring your one foot onto the ball of your foot. As you push down into the ball of that foot, imagine a spirit level across your hips. So your hips are going to stay, your height's not going to falter. And you're slow and controlled, just lifting one foot and then the other. We don't want to bob up and down. What's happening here is your calf muscles are squeezing your blood vessels to help your return of your circulation. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, you may want to get a cushion to assist you, or I can use a Pilates ball. We're going to do our squat. So it's a Pilates squat, it's a warm-up squat, so it's not about how deep you go, it's about the quality. So we're going to use the ball, or you can use a cushion. Remember that your hips are a much bigger joint than your knees. So as we travel down, we want to move the hips first. So we inhale and we push back our hips. We draw the ball in to make us think of our hips going back first, and we bend the knees secondary. And we lift by squeezing the glutes on our exhale. So we inhale, traveling down. Exhale, lift up. All the time we've got that core locked on. So as you lower down, you'll feel the weight transfer to your heels. If you're doing this correctly, your toes should be able to be lifted. Exhale, lift, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes and tuck your tail end at the top. So it's inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Well done. Coming into our balance now. Put your hands on your hips for me. We challenge our balance in Pilates. Our core helps stabilize our strength. And we're going to warm up the ankles and the knees first by challenging our balance. I want you to transfer all the weight onto your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, lift the leg. Now you can take this anywhere. If you can't balance today for whatever reason, it changes with weather and air pressure and general health, you can just take the toe to the mat. And let's just start tapping down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that leg out to the side. So again, drawing up your core, sucking up your pelvic floor, drawing your navel to spine. Feel the weight balance, so your centre of gravity now is changing. It's gone from here to one side. We can inhale, point the toe if you can, and exhale, lifting up and lowering down. All the time, challenging your balance. You're going to feel it in the glute and supporting leg, because while you're working this leg, lifting up and down, the other side is stabilising and switched on to help you keep your balance and keep that weight over the other leg. 2 and 1. Okay, we're going to take that to the side now. So pull up on your right leg this time. We're lifting and lowering, thinking of your posture all the time. Transfer your weight. Inhale and exhale, lifting up and tapping down. Okay, you can take it to the floor if that's easier for you. Wherever you can reach today is totally fine. Keep moving and keep improving, and you've got to believe to achieve. 3, 2, and 1. Take your foot out to the side, same thing again. So we're pulling up and supporting legs, soft bend in the knee, don't lock your joint. Inhale, exhale, lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. I'm going to raise the pulse right now to help warm the body temperature, mobilise everything. So just releasing everything down towards the ground. And 4, we're going to come up now. Inhale, transfer the weight. Exhale, lift your right leg. And we swing down, come up, inhale, transfer the weight. Exhale, lift, and lower down. Swing down, your challenge now, your combination. Inhale, exhale, lift, lengthen arms, go forward to counterbalance, take it out to the side. Focus on the spot on the floor, draw your eyes towards your supporting leg as you lift your other leg behind you. Arms are out in front to counterbalance, hand release, so take that to the side now. Swing down, inhale, exhale, lift the left leg. Swing down, come up, transfer the weight, inhale, exhale, lift. Combination now, swing down, transfer, inhale, exhale, lift. Focus on something in front of you, arms go forward to counterbalance, to the side, and then again hinging from the hips, taking your balance, coming forward and reaching behind you with that other leg. Well done, okay, shake out. So now we start the real Pilates, so you're warmed up now, you've done your alignment, you're breathing in core control, and we've mobilised all the synovial fluid, warmed it up, ready to go. So we're going to start with something called the roll down. So if you imagine you've got a cog under your chin, you're going to lower your chin, and your spine is like a chain going over that cog. So don't stick your bottom out, imagine a wet painted wall behind you. Everything is relaxed, shoulders, head and arms are going to dangle like spaghetti here. And keep the legs straight. So as you go down, you're warming up, you're opening up one vertebrae at a time as you're rolling down. You come down to your edge, wherever your edge may be your shins, your knees, or hopefully the floor.
You'll get there in time. Again, practice makes perfect. So we inhale when we reach our edge. On our exhale, straighten your legs as if driving iron pilings down into the ground. Start lifting your body, no tension in your arms, everything stays nice and loose. And we're mobilising your spine. When you get 90% of the way up, bring your shoulders up, release them back and down, head pops up last. We'll do that 2 more times. So again, we inhale, exhale, rolling down, and the slower you do this, the more effective it is. And it's very good to do when you first get up in the morning, get everything going. And we're lowering down towards our edge. Inhale and exhale, lifting up, lengthening through the legs, keep your tail tucked in, rolling up, shoulders come up, back and down. On this next one now, we're going to add on, we're going to do a walk out. I want you to imagine you're trying to roll down and we're going to walk out using our hands. So we inhale, navel to spine, suck the core in, lift that pelvic floor. You're rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time, keeping your legs straight. Don't lock your knees up, keep them as straight as you can. As you go down, you'll feel a stretch in your hamstrings at the back of your legs. And also crossing over the hip and the knee. So when we get to our edge, this time we're going to inhale, suck your belly in. On your exhale, very slowly and controlled, start to walk out. So we're spreading our fingers wide because we don't want any hip movement, because we want to keep the spine supported and help stabilise it. So here we're strengthening our core, we're keeping our spine as still as we can, we're walking out, we're coming out into a high plank. So when your fingers are slightly in front of your face, you're going to inhale again, exhale, ease yourself forward, push through your heels, your wrists should be directly below your shoulders, your gaze to the mat, your spine is in line. So you should be able to balance something on your back here, totally stable. We've got our core locked on, your core is helping you keep you in this position, and you're tightening your core because you're working against gravity. You'll feel pressure in your wrists, but we're actually strengthening them. We're also increasing bone density, which helps ward off osteoporosis. So when you're in this position, your long bones of your upper arm, your thighs, are working for the greater good against osteoporosis and also strengthening all the muscles working against gravity. You're then going to spread your knees and lower down, toes together. Just leave your hands where they are. Inhale, and on your exhale, ease yourself back by using your tailbone. So you're pushing your tailbone towards the wall behind you, lengthening out through the spine. It's very important to keep that back straight as you lower down. And you should feel your lower back getting a nice stretch here. And then we're going to lift our fingers onto fingertip to bring that stretch beneath the shoulder blades. It's an area that carries lots of tension. And then inhale. And on your exhale, lower your forehead to the mat, or use a pillow or towel to cushion your forehead. If you can't get them, I'm going to take your arms behind you, come into passive child's pose, taking your bottom towards your heels or as near as you can get. Take a nice deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, lift your upper body up, slide in. You're going to come into tabletop or all fours kneeling, quadruped position. Again, knees should be directly beneath your hips. So like tabletop, and your wrists directly beneath your shoulders. We're going to start here by challenging the core and your balance and your spinal alignment. So we're going to inhale, slide your right hand forward. And if you can, take the leg out as well. If not, just do the arms or the legs. So for the moment, we're going to do right arm, left leg. We've inhaled, we've lengthened. On the exhale, lift your right arm up to shoulder height and your left leg to hip height. We're just holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring it back in, keep that core locked on. You should be able to breathe normally whilst keeping your core locked on. It comes with practice. Inhale, lengthen left arm, lift the right leg and the left arm just to the height of those joints. So everything is in line. You might wobble slightly in the beginning, but it will count. It's all about that core control. Remember, there's nothing else supporting your spine in the centre, only your muscles of your core. So we'll bring that back in again. Inhale and exhale, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Inhale. Sliding out and exhale, lift. Keep your core sucked in. Keep Keep the tension on in that cylinder of your core, your powerhouse. Bring it back in and sit back onto your knee, onto your ankles. Easing back into your child's pose, just to release your back there for a moment. And just slide out onto your tummy, come into back extensions. So your feet are nice and flat on the mat. We're going to come into a capital E position. So take your shoulders and your elbows out, so you're making a nice square. Your head is the centre of that capital E. We're going to inhale, no tension, don't press into your arms, use your back muscles, so we're strengthening this area here. We're going to inhale, exhale, lifting up. Keep your gaze towards the mat. You'll feel the tension come into your back between your waist and your bra strap or your mid back. And then we're lowering down. So inhale to prepare, suck the navel to spine, picking up your belly button off the mat. On your exhale, lift up and hold. Keep your gaze towards the mat as if looking at your reflection. And inhale, lower. And one more. Inhale. And exhale, lift. Feel that tension in your back. I haven't added any music today, so you can add your own at home. So lowering down, arms in that capital E. This time we're going to bring the head and the arms up in one unit. So inhale, suck your belly above the mat, exhale, lift. So increasing the tension, increasing the use of your back muscles here. Lower down, inhale, suck your belly button up, squeeze your core, squeeze your pelvic floor, exhale, lift, and hold. And lower down, inhale, exhale, lift, and lower. Now we're going to bring the legs in as well. So again, in one unit, don't squeeze your glutes when lifting up your upper body, but when we bring the legs in, you will feel your glutes switch on. Inhale, heels together, toes apart slightly, exhale, lift. And lower. Inhale, heels together, toes apart, exhale, lift. And lower. Last one, inhale, exhale, lift. Well done. Next one, adding on again here. Now we're going to inhale, tuck your belly up, exhale, lift. Lengthen your arms out in front of you, keep your gaze towards the mat, lifting your legs as high as you can. And then inhale to prepare, exhale, ease your elbows back beside you. You can feel your back muscles really kicking in now as you lengthen and draw your elbows back alongside your ribs. One more, going to lengthen and lift. And when you draw your elbows in, lift your head and release. Coming onto your side body now. Lying out nice and long, nice and parallel with the edge of your mat. Rest your head on your shoulder, pop a towel under here if you feel tension in your neck. It'll also assist you keeping your spine straight. And put your hand in front to support you. Ease your top hip so that you lengthen your top leg slightly longer. We're going to inhale, lift the top leg. Exhale, lift the bottom leg to meet it. Heels together, toes apart, Pilates stance if you can. If not, if you're just starting out, just keep your feet together. We're going to lift and lower your legs. So bringing in your glutes now and your obliques, your side waist muscles. We're lifting and lowering. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Keep the top leg absolutely still, about balance and core control. Again, squeezing your core, you're going to lift and lower your lower leg up and down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Bring your knees in and rub your hips if you're feeling some tension there. And we're lengthening out again now. Inhale, exhale, lift. Keeping that balance, and when you're ready, inhale, exhale, keep the bottom leg still, lift the top leg up. Just above hip height there. 4, 3, 2,
and one. Well done. Bring your hips and release. And you get into the glutes and waist a bit more now. We're going to come into our clown position. So for this, I want your legs, your shins totally parallel. It's very important. A 90-degree angle. So a 90-degree angle between your lap and your torso, 90 degrees in the back of the leg. Hand in front to support you. And if you hover your elbow over your hip slightly, it'll help you better understand the range of movement, which is hip height. So we inhale, exhale, lift, lower down. So we're just opening up the legs to hip height, mobilizing and warming up the hip for the rest of the exercise. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Moving on from that now, we're going to bring in rotation of the hip internally. So you're going to lift your leg up, keep it nice and parallel to the ceiling here. We're going to internally rotate the hip so the knee comes in and touches the knee and comes back to parallel. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, give your hips some love if you need to. And then again, we're going to do the external rotation now. Inhale, exhale, lift, heel to heel, and lift back up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Combination now. We're going to bring ourselves back. This time, inhale, exhale, lift, knee to knee, and ankle to ankle, so the heels touch and then the knees touch. Ankle to ankle, knee to knee, ankle to ankle, knee to knee. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Give your hips some love. Lengthen out your top leg now. Push your way through your heel to relieve that tension. Pop a hand in front of you and just push your leg behind you at 45 degrees. Just lengthening out the hip flexors and releasing the tension. And come back through Santa. We'll do that on the other side now. And lowering down. Make sure you're nice and long. Lengthening out. Hand in front to support you. As you become more advanced, you might be able to challenge your balance, lifting your arm or taking it over. So your hands in front to support you at this stage. Point your toes. Inhale. Lift your top leg to hip height. Exhale, lift the bottom leg to meet it. Feet together when lifting and lowering. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. This time we're going to keep the top leg still and lift and lower the bottom leg. Inhale. Suck your belly in. Exhale, lift. Take your top leg down. Lift up and touch. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Bend your knees. Give your hips some love if you need to. Lengthening out again now. Lengthen nice and long. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Keep the bottom leg absolutely still. Think of your balance lifting up that top leg and lowering down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring your knees in, give your hips some love. You can come into your clam now, so you can prop yourself up like I have if you prefer. You can stay laid down flat. The important thing is to have this 90-degree angle so your hips are in line, your lap is at 90 degrees to your torso, and your knees have got that 90-degree angle in the back. So again, hovering the arm over, inhale, exhale, lift and lower. So you'll notice your upper thigh will stay parallel to the ceiling. We have 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now we bring that internal rotation in. So we inhale, suck your belly up, exhale to lift on exertion, internally rotate your knee to knee and come back up to parallel. Knee and back up. Touch your knee and lift. Touch your knee and lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Rub your hip if you need to. And again, the external rotation now. Inhale, exhale, lift. We're going heel to heel and lift. So the only movement is in that hip joint. Your leg is stable in that position. Your hip will be burning because you're working the muscles surrounding it. 3, 2, and 1, and lower down. Rub your hip again, give it some love. Again, floating your arm over your hip there so you can get the idea of that hip height. Inhale, exhale, lift. Full Monty now, knee to knee, heel to heel. Knee to knee, heel to heel. Think of rotating that leg using the hip joint only. 4, 3, this will often be easier on one side than the other as well, it differs from person to person. And 1, okay, well done. Lengthen out your top leg, push away with your heel, put your hand in front to support you now, really stretch that leg nice and long, with the hip and the waist a nice stretch, and come back to your centre. So roll over onto your back now, just a little core work. And we're going to start with our single and double leg stretch. So if you breathe in now when you lay on the mat, you'll feel your navel and your spine automatically sink into the mat. Your tail's tucked under. As you exhale and you're tucking your ribs in, you start to gain control of your core. You're going to come into something called tabletop now. So first lifting one leg, so your knee is directly over your hip, and then the other. You'll feel your core switch on. Excuse me. You're bringing your hips in line now. You're in tabletop position, lead on your back, so you're supine. Your spine is against the mat. Arms by your side. Inhale. As you exhale, ease your upper body up and lower down. Take your hands behind your head if you prefer. Inhale, exhale, lift and lower down. 3 and 2 and 1. Just to warm up the upper abdominals. I'm going to bring your arms alongside your thighs now. We're going to inhale. And as we inhale, we're going to lengthen out the right leg and the arms go over your head. So keeping your core controlled, don't let your back come up or your tummy go. Exhale, drawing back in. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And draw back in. So this is a single leg stretch. You can lower if you feel it in your neck. Keep your neck on the mat, or your head on the mat rather. Stay down. Level 1, level 2, bring your torso up. You can lift it and lower it or keep it where it is. 3, 2, and 1. Really feel that tension in your core as you draw out and in. So you're going to do both legs at one time now, double leg stretch. So hug your knees in, just rock from side to side, release your hips, turn your head from one side, then to the other. We're going to inhale. Exhale, come back into tabletop. Make sure those knees are directly over your hips and the hip distance apart. We're going to lift up the upper body. On your inhale, see if you can lengthen both arms and legs out. And exhale, draw in. So ease back and lift up. Easing back and lift up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Hug your knees. Start to feel that warming up in the core there. From there, we're going to come on to some bridging. So you're going to tip your tail away. So imagine your pubic bone is traveling between the thighs. On your exhale, we're going to roll into the mat one vertebrae at a time, really peeling up nice and slowly. Squeezing your glutes to lift your hips. You're tightening and turning your hips. And as you push up, you're strengthening and lengthening your hip flexors, your psoas major. You should go from your hip right up through to your lower ribs. So we're lengthening the arms out. Inhale. Really push up through your glutes, using your glutes to lift your hips. And then we're lifting the arms back over. Just floating your arms back and forward in this position. 4, 3, 2, side, take your inhale. On your exhale, slowly start rolling down one vertebrae at a time, imprinting your spine into the mat. Come through your mid-back, your waistline, your lumbar, and then your hips, and just release your tailbone back and forth. We'll do that one more time. It's just a simple bridge for a beginner's exercise. So we inhale, tilt the pelvis away. Exhale, rolling into the mat, get that contact, come up one vertebrae at a time. Squeezing those glutes, remember, lift your hips as high as you can. Feel the stretch in the front of your body. Arms over your head and by your side. Over your head, by your side. Over your head, by your side. Last one. Over your head, by your side. Inhale, and then exhale, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. So you're giving your discs full space, you're relaxing your back into the mat. It's a nice little massage for the spine. Tip your pelvis away and bring it back in. Pop your hands behind your thighs. You're going to roll yourself up now, so you're going to create some momentum. Inhale, draw your knees to your chest. Exhale, lift up. And if you can, see if you can keep your feet off the mat. It's your boat posture. If your feet come down to the mat, you can always lift them back up. We're going to rolling like a ball. So you inhale, roll back. Exhale, come up. Think of your posture. So you inhale, roll back. As you come up, you're sat on your ischium, you're nice and tall, your spine is straight. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, lift. And one more. Tuck your chin in. And lift and straighten and lengthen your spine. Lovely, well done. The last Pilates exercise before cool down is called your roll down. Again, this takes some practice. You can use a band. I will show you in class how to use the band to get used to pulling yourself back up. Shoulders back and down, arms out in front of you. Inhale. On your exhale, as slowly as you can, you'll feel your heels drag towards you as you lower your spine towards the mat. One vertebrae at a time. Arms go over your head. Take a nice full body stretch and release. Excuse me. Inhale, bring your fingertips towards the ceiling. On your exhale, lock on your core, using your abdominal muscles to lift you back up. And we're coming back up to center. So again, think of ears, shoulders and hips all in line. Inhale. Exhale, rolling back down one vertebrae at a time. The slower you do this, the more you stretch your spine. Inhale, arms come up towards the ceiling, fingers pointing upwards, engage your core and lift through. And release, and then hinging from the hips. Inhale and exhale, folding forward to wherever you may reach. This is a stretch into your hamstrings here and your calf muscles. Again, it's about feeling that stretch rather than how low you can go. And as you increase your flexibility and mobility, you will progress with this. And here we're going to come into the saw, a cool down. So parting the legs into a nice V shape, nice and wide. Arms out, toes pointing the ceiling, very important. The moment you turn your toes in, you alter the positioning of the rest of the muscles. Thumbs to the ceiling, then inhale. On your exhale, one arm goes behind your back. As you hinge from the hip, you want to get opposite little finger to opposite little toe. Inhale, exhale, lift and twist. So it doesn't matter where you get to, it's about hinging from the hip, thinking of your form. If when you get to here, or if you need to go to the outside of your shin, it's totally fine. It's about the twist and keeping that spine straight and in line. Inhale, exhale, twist. Lift up, keep your glutes on the mat, keep your toes towards the ceiling and twist. Well done. Drawing one leg into half seated, half cross-legged. We'll sit up nice and tall. Inhale, turn towards your lengthened leg. Slide the hand on the same side along that leg, and as you do, bring the arm from behind you. Keep it in line with your ear and just ease yourself forward, hinging from the hips, stretching your side body. See wherever your range is, that's totally fine. Just easing yourself over. Inhale, exhale. And release. Change your sides now. Tuck the other leg in. Think of your posture, nice and tall. Turn your torso towards that straight leg. Take the same hand of the straight leg down the side of your leg. bring your arm over from behind you. Don't shroud your head, keep your arm nice and straight, thinking of lengthening out, stretching your back. And release. Come over into all fours now, to cat-cow, so sucking your belly up, working against gravity again. And even this exercise on its own is very effective at strengthening your core from the inside out. So we inhale, set the belly up, make sure everything's in line, arch your back, tuck your head under. On your exhale, keep your arms really strong, straight and stiff, and allow your torso to relax between your straight arms. And then lift your head and tail, reversing the stretch in your back. So it's inhale, rounding up. Exhale, release, and then stretch up. Tuck your toes under, push up into downward dog, pedal out your heels to help them touch towards the mat, stretching the calves. And walk your feet in towards your hands. Come into rag dolly, take hold of opposite arm, suck your belly up, and just twisting, so a little bit more release for the body. Come back to a center. Take your inhale now. Exhale, straighten your legs and we're rolling up like we did in the beginning. So think of your spine like a chain going over a cog. Shoulders come up, back and down, head pops up last. And interlace your fingers in front of you. Invert your grasp and push away. And lifting up. Nice big circle round. Lower your arms beside you. Push the air behind you away, opening the chest. And then interlacing your fingers to the sideways so you can see me. You're going to inhale, hinge from the hip, push your arms towards the ceiling as you hinge from the hip, and come back to center. Take your right arm over your shoulder, ease your tricep to stretch it out so fingertips are going down towards your shoulder blade. Inhale and exhale, take that to the other side so the left arm goes over. Release. You're going to come into your calves and your hamstrings now, so pop your right foot slightly in front of your left, put your left hands on your left thigh. You're going to bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, easing back. So we're getting into the hamstring here, just looking over a cliff, hinging from the hip. 3, 2, 1. Step your right leg behind you, come into more of a lunge to get into your calf muscle. Stretching backwards here. And then bring your right foot in just behind your left. We're going to squat down, getting into the glute and lifting the foot onto the ball, get into the soleus, into the ankle. And then standing up nice and straight, put your hands on your right thigh, bend your right knee, lengthen your left leg, taking it to the other side, hinging from the hip. Feel this stretch all around your hip when you stretch your hamstrings, because one of them crosses the hip joint, as I've said before. And stepping back on your left leg, coming into a slight lunge to get into your calf muscle. Stepping in, take your squat. Lift your foot onto your ball of your foot, your left foot, and ease up. Just raise your pulse, swinging down and lift, swing down and lift, swing down and lift, swing down and lift. Hug yourself one way and then the other. Put your left hand behind your back, take a step forward, give yourself a bow, a smile, a clap, and well done.